I just barely a few minutes ago finished reading I Am the Word, a channeled text channeled through Paul Selig. If you are a profound believer in doing energy work, raising the vibration, chakras, crystals, all that jazz, this is a book you would probably want to read. Do I not like that I read it? It was interesting. Kind of annoying in some parts. In the New Testament, the first book of John, it talks about the Word. In the beginning, there was the Word, referencing Jesus Christ. This book is using that word, the way that word is meant in John, as each of us human beings, mortal human beings in the physical realm on earth, is trying to raise our energy level, our frequency, what we are vibrating on, to the level of Jesus Christ, except rarely will they say Jesus Christ. They will mostly say Christ, or the Christ itself is how they refer to it. This isn't much different in my mind from trying to find your divine self, or getting in tune with the person that you are supposed to be. What bothered me the most was when they would make when they would set the intentions. So basically reframing your mindset to uplift you, to encourage you, which isn't a bad thing. But it's like they would close that out with word, I am word, and it would always be in there. And I'm just like, this is like a weird phraseology. So that part's not really my cup of tea. A lot of it is good suggestions if you are looking to raise your frequency, to clear your chakras. They don't talk about crystals. They don't talk about essential oils. They do not talk about a lot of mystical things like that. They mostly talk about reframing your mindset to uplift yourselves. They barely even talk about chakras. It's mentioned a few times, the crown chakra, the third eye chakra, clearing blockages that are happening. So I liked some of the imagery that they gave. One of them was used when they were talking about trials being meant for our good. And they talked about how a lot of your trials would be, you can imagine it like a boulder in the middle of the room that you've just kind of gotten used to and ignoring. And they talk you through ways to reframe your mindset, basically, in order to take care of that huge boulder that's blocking you from being able to move up to a higher frequency. I thought that was a good plan. And so some of my blockages I've started seeing as big boulders in the room that I can start chipping away at during my meditation and such. Now, when I meditate, I do something that would probably be in the same thought process as this. So I found this diagram, I think, on Pinterest. And during my meditation, I have 15 minutes of silence where the narrator doesn't talk. And during that 15 minutes, I go through each of these. They're aligned with the chakras. I don't think about the chakras except in the presence of remembering what my phrase is supposed to start off on. So the first time through it, it's me and my relationship to God. The second time through it, it's me and my relationship to myself. The third time through it is me and my relationship to those people around me. And like I said, the only connection I do with the chakras is in imagining where it is at. So when I'm going through this, I'm thinking, I understand, and I'm imagining myself starting up here. I see it, I start up here, I talk, I imagine this part of my body. So it's just how I imagine it. And I know that's backwards, but I do keep that on hand because it is really helpful in regrounding, especially myself, for just life in general. And it's great to reframe. When I get done with that, I still have some time left. And then I like to do like a personal, extremely personal, heartfelt prayer to my Heavenly Father. But I'm a religious person, so there's that. So, do I recommend I Am the Word, a channeled text through Paul Selig? What does that mean, the channeled text? It means that the book is written by Paul, who is speaking the words, but he's acting like a conduit for angels or spirits, or however you want to see that. So I like to imagine it as, again, that's my dryer, I'm sorry, it's annoying. I like to imagine it as, imagine that you are in the zone for whatever you're doing. Like when I play the piano, sometimes I get in the zone and everything else just kind of disappears. Or if you've ever watched the movie Soul, and they talk about being in the zone, and they're off on that. Anyway, that's what I imagine that was going through Paul. Is he's just in the zone, and he's vibrating at a really high frequency, and he's just letting the words flow. And they're not bad, they're not wrong. It's just not everybody's cup of tea. So I recommend it for those of you who are into that kind of thing. I recommend it for those of you who are interested in that kind of thing. It might not be recommended for people who are extremely factual, logical people who really do not get into that kind of thing. So, not bad, not great. It's okay. It was a little annoying at times. In the end, I really couldn't wait for it to be finished with it. But I didn't want to stop reading it either. I wanted to finish the book. It was one that I was like, okay, let's see if I can finish this today. How many pages does this chapter have? How long do I have to keep reading? Can I, so it wasn't, a page turner for me, but it wasn't something that I dreaded reading every day. But I am glad that I'm done reading it. So we can discuss those thoughts.